Hey guys, and welcome to Nikrit. Today we're going to go over how to make these really cute amigurumi onigiri rice balls. I actually love making these in real life and also in this really cute amigurumi pattern as well. And we're going to show you how to make all these different little variations as well. I found a couple of them online that I saw, but I didn't quite like how they looked quite as much for a cat onigiri and also for a panda onigiri. I always see them all over Pinterest and I think they're adorable, so I decided to do my own little cute twist version of it. And at the very end there will be a nice little slideshow that will show all the written description for the patterns that are being shown in this video. Also down in the description there will be a written pattern for a printable version of this pattern. So be sure to check that out on Ravelry. Alright, let's get started. For this pattern you will need less than 1 skein of Vanna's Choice white yarn. You're going to need a size J or 6mm crochet hook. You're going to need a darning needle and some felt. Alright, let's get going. To get started, you're going to want to make a magical ring and place 3 single crochet on the inside of it. Next up, as you can see from the pattern, we're going to place 3 single crochets inside each of these single crochets in our bunch, and we're going to end up with 9 single crochets. This first one's always hard to get into. So put 3 inside that 1. So we've got 1, we're going to go back inside that same single crochet, 2, and then we're going to place another one in there. And then each of these is acting like our edge on our triangle. So every time you make one of these 3 single crochets, you're going to basically be making a nice little rounded edge for the piece here. And I was working with my tail. So that happens sometimes. You gotta make sure you're holding it the right way. Now I've worked in there, we're gonna go in 1. Same one, we're gonna go with 2. And we're going to go in 3. And every time you do that, we're making an edge here. We're making a nice little corner. And that's what we're just doing, is we're rounding the corner of our triangle. And since we started out with 3, we're going to end up with 3 corners, which makes enough sense as it is. So now we're going here. This is our 3rd one. And we're going to make 1, 2, and 3. Now, next up, you'll notice that we now have, because we increased, we're going to have a single crochet along here, that'll be our edge, and then we're going to have a single crochet right there. So this corner here, we're going to place 3 single crochets inside that 1, and we're going to go around again. So we're 1 single crochet, increase with our 3, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, increase with our 3rd, because that's our next corner right there, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, and then you'll notice on the next round you'll have 2 single crochets, and then it'll keep going like that, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to stop when we get to our 6th. So here you'll see one that's already done. So here we did the 3 single crochets, and then we did more until we got to the point where we were doing 6 along each edge, increasing 6, and we're just going to keep doing that around. And you'll notice that our edge, our bottom part where we stop, is going to be like along right there. That's perfectly normal. And don't worry about your seam, because we're going to find a way to cover that up, and I'll show you that in a minute. So we're going to keep doing this until we get it to the size that we want. So if you want a bigger onigiri, you could actually keep going and make it bigger and bigger and bigger and just keep adding corners to it. So basically you just want to put a little marker on each of these little corners here and keep going around. You'll notice that it's already triangular looking because you just pull your edges and there it is, it's a triangle. So I'll see you when this is done, and I'm going to actually ask you to make 2 of them. So this is my first one, this is now going on to my second one. And then I'll show you what to do once that piece is made. So now we have done our single crochets all the way around, and we're going to now slip stitch into our piece right here, and we're going to leave ourselves a nice decently long tail, because now we're going to, this is the tricky part, flip it inside out. And so what you just did there was you basically seamed up the side but made it look like a single crochet while you were at it, and it looks a lot better. So now here we have these nice 2 little tails, and we're going to stuff. That's why we left this nice little hole here. And when we're done stuffing, we're going to sew along the edging here. And I'll show you how we do that. So now that we've stuffed, we're going to take our darning needle, and this does not have to be pretty. But basically we're just going to take this and go through the corresponding one without getting it over our polyfill. Try to anyway. And that's how I sew it. I already stitched in my other one by pushing it through the rest of my piece here, and you just move your hands and do it that way. So now we're going to go through the corresponding one that way. I'm gonna go this way, and so on and so forth. I like going through this way and then doing it in double back this way so that it's nice and secure, but it does not need to be super pretty because it's going to be covered up by our little felt nori. And this is what it should look like when you're done sewing. It doesn't need to look super pretty. We're going to be cutting a piece of felt that reaches about here, so it's going to be from here to about here, so you'll want to cut off at around 2 inches. Whatever width your little seam here is, you're going to want to cut that wide, so that's about another 2 inches. So you want about a 2 inch by 2 inch square, and you'll want to cut that out of the felt, and then we'll just hot glue that on. In the process of this, you're going to want to just kind of keep squishing it until it gets to the shape that you want, because this is an odd shape and it's not round, so I can't really give you many suggestions other than just don't overstuff it, because it can be really weird if you do that. Alright, I'll show you what it looks like when the felt piece is done. And once you've added your nori to your little piece here and some eyes, you can add the rest of your face if you want to. For this one I made it into a cat, and this one over here I made it into a panda. I tried adding blush to it, which came out okay. I'm not the biggest fan. I have a hard time with puffy paint. I'm using puffy paint for this and for all the other face parts as well. I will also leave a nice little link in the description for a printable pattern for this, and there will be a nice little slide at the end of this video where you can see the pattern for the ears on both the cat and the panda onigiri. Alright, if you like this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe to our channel. It really does help us, and we're trying so hard to grow and put out all really good content so that we can continue to do stuff like this. Until next time, guys!